YouTube crew, what is going on and welcome back. Now I'm super excited about today's video, how to dominate close quarter engagements, and here's why. As many of you know, when I first started playing Warzone, I was a 0.7 KD, and now I'm over a 4 KD on Rebirth. And to be totally honest with you, close quarter engagements was one of the biggest areas that I struggled with on my journey, but I learned. How do we beat that guy camping top stairwell? How do we beat the guy that's camping in a corner? Situations where I know where they are and I'm the one pushing. So today I'm going to be giving you 4 things that you can do to be more successful, and then at the end we're going to break down a situation. So as always, if you find this video helpful, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Let's go hashtag Rebirth down in the comments below for the algorithm, because Rebirth is a lot of close quarter engagements, but this does apply to Verdansk as well. Still, hashtag Rebirth down in the comments below. If you are looking to continue getting better at Warzone, make sure you are subscribed with that notification bell turned on so you don't miss any videos. Let's get into it. Now, we are going to be using Rebirth clips today, but just know that these 4 tips do apply to Verdansk close quarter engagements as well. Now, first up is your information, and this one's obvious, but we still need to talk about it. 2 questions that you need to answer. How many people are in the building, and where are they? Now, let's talk about something real quick. Today's video is not about how to reposition and finesse 3 to 4 people in a building. That's a tough push, and that's a conversation for another day. Today is when you know somebody's camping in a building, and you know exactly where that person is, don't die in that situation. That should be a free, easy kill. So, in terms of information, understand how many people are in the building, should be 1 or 2, and where are they in relation to you? Are they above, below, or on the same level as you? And where are they in terms of that building and understanding that building? Are they at the top of the stairs, or are they around the corner? Because depending on where they are, that's going to change how you play that situation. So, first up is your information. Let's get into point number 2. So now that you understand where your opponent actually is, you need to be centering your crosshairs and you need to be ready to engage. And I already know what you're thinking here. Joe, I've heard this before. Joe, you talk about this all the time. Joe, I'm about to exit out of your video, except this is one of the biggest downfalls of a lot of players. Inconsistency with this component is one of the biggest differences between average players and high skill players when it comes to close quarter engagements. A lot of times the reason you die, or maybe you just take too much damage, is one of 2 reasons. A, your crosshairs are aimed down at the ground, and by the time you adjust, it's too late. Or B, you're not ready to engage your opponent. You wait to see them, and then you start shooting, and at that point, it's too late. By the way, if you're unsure of what centering is or how to do it, I'm going to be leaving you a video at the end of this one, so make sure you go check it out. But when you are pushing a stairwell, you want to position your crosshairs near the top of that stairwell and anticipate your opponent. I love this clip right here because Dayton specifically calmed out. There's somebody holding stairwell, do not push. But watch how as I turn this corner, I position my crosshairs near the top of the stairwell, and after a slight adjustment, I break him before he breaks me, even though he was the one holding the stairwell. As opposed to this guy right here, where he's just running with his crosshairs down at the ground. He's not ready for me, and it's an easy down and thirst for me. So centering plus being ready for your opponent means better reaction time and less adjustments necessary to get the down. So before we get into the next 2 tips, let's tie those 2 together. Based on the information that you have, how many people are in the building and where they are, you need to be centering your crosshairs and anticipating your opponents so that ultimately you're ready for them. So now let's talk about hitting shots, and there's 2 things that I want to talk about. The first is hip firing, and hip firing is a huge advantage in close quarters, and it doesn't necessarily have to be hip firing a full clip like I am here. It could be hip firing a few bullets before you ADS, or it could be hip firing to track your opponent before aim down sight, because keep in mind your aim down sight multiplier. A lot of you, your ADS multiplier is going to be slower, so it's going to be hard to track in close quarters. You can hip fire to track your opponent and then ADS, which will allow you to hit more shots. And the second part of hitting shots, I'm going to keep it super quick, but it is super important to talk about, and that is hitting upper torso and headshots. The Bullfrog TTK, my favorite SMG right now. The Bullfrog TTK is a 639. With 1 headshot, it's a 559. And again, I'm trying to avoid taking damage here, avoid 50-50 situations. So that 1 headshot gives that person even less time to react and gives them less time to do damage to me. And the last thing that I want to talk about, tip number 4, is movement. Keep in mind, you have a good sense of where this person is, so you should be jump peeking corners, slide canceling around the corner. Let's go back to this clip right here. Notice instead of slow peeking this corner, I slide around the corner, I have my crosshairs positioned near the top, I break him before he breaks me. Now, if we're in a little bit better of a situation, this is a window that we can use to push up. Ultimately, we decide not to. Movement is also going to allow you to avoid bullets like we always talk about. Notice in this clip right here, I take out this whole team simply by strafing. Nothing crazy, nothing fancy, no bunny hop. Simply strafing. So now let's get into this clip that I had on stream the other night. That is a textbook close quarters engagement. Okay, so the first thing that I want to point out, this guy is on my level right outside the door here. There's 1 below right here and 1 on my level down at the end of this corner. So I can't really push this guy right here because I'm going to get shot by those 2 guys. So I'm going to hold, I see his laser. Now right here, as I see this guy moving towards me, watch how I center my crosshairs when I switch to the M4. right? So as I switch, I bunny hop this, right? I use movement to my advantage. Even if I don't bunny hop there, you can jump peek this, and I'm centered right here. Now, unfortunately, I missed shots there, which is why I can only break him. But as soon as I start shooting that guy, I know this guy right here that was behind the door is going to push me. So now watch how I pull out my bullfrog. I use this as my cover, and I essentially center my bullfrog on the doorway where this person's going to be coming out of, right? I know he's going to be there. And before he can do anything, I'm already getting shots. Now, next thing I want you to pay attention to, and I'm going to roll this clip back in its entirety for you, but next thing I want you to pay attention to is watch how when I lose track of him, I un-ADS, and then I re-find him, and then I'm able to get the down. So there I un-ADS because I lose him, then I'm able to get the down. Now, last up, I take care of this guy pushing right here. We're able to get the get the down there because, you know, I hit all my shots. So let's go back and watch it in its entirety. This guy ends up playing bottom, low. I end up rotating around. We get the win here. But here's what this looks like in its entirety. So I see him on my level now. I anticipate that way he doesn't peek. So now I know he's behind the doorway. You can actually see his laser from the guns. Catch a quick glimpse. So we're going to go ahead and anticipate this left side. I'm going to miss a few shots there, but now we anticipate the doorway, center on the doorway. On ADS, now we anticipate this guy coming behind based on audio cues, and we're able to get both thirsts. So I hope you found today's video helpful on how to dominate close quarter engagements. Go use it in your gameplay today. Go win some close quarter engagements. Let's get better today, and I will see you tomorrow.